Hi everyone, my name's Simone. I'm your unit assessor and I'm just going to take you on a quick walk through Module 1. So let's go in and have a look. Just let the page load. Great. So first up, you've got a bit of an overview about Module 1 with some key questions to focus your learning. Got the module purpose with a few outcomes or objectives. We've got an introduction that sets the scene for this module, which is really about thinking about the future of the planet. So thinking about the socio-ecological issues that your students might be facing as they enter the teaching profession, and also looking at the issues surrounding science education that teachers really need to engage with and think about. But first up, we want you to reflect on your science education. What was your secondary science classroom like? Jump into this voice thread here by clicking on this button, and it'll give you some instructions about how you can write about your story, speak about your story, or even video record your story to share with your peers. Getting an understanding of how everyone experienced secondary science in their own education is really important. So it gives you a bit of perspectives about the students that you might have in your class. Now, granted, this might be a little bit biased because we all obviously love science, to be wanting to be science teachers, but you'll be interested to hear the different perceptions that your peers may have. So please contribute to our voice thread there. Next up, we have a really fascinating article that looks at the differences in perceptions between students and teachers of high school science. There's just a short few pages from this reading that I'd like you to have a look at. You can download the reading here, or you can listen to a reading of this that I've done via audio recording and download that there. To test your understanding of this reading, there is a true or false quiz here, and also to elaborate, there are some questions here for you to respond to. You can just respond to these on the discussion board or in a Word document to take to your tutorial if you prefer to do that. It won't save up onto the site or anything if you write in this documentation tool, so you do have to manually download your answers. Really fascinating reading, thinking about how teachers perceive their science classroom and how their students perceive their science classroom. So I encourage you to engage in that reading. This one looks at factors affecting students' attitude of science and science subjects. So rather than engaging in the readings here, which you're more than welcome to do, we have created a bit of a summary through this little pop-up application here. So it talks about the intrinsic, internal, or extrinsic, external factors affecting students. And then it asks your opinion. What do you think the major factor affecting students' science subject choices in high school is? I've left some data up there from previous years just so we start to get a bigger collection or a larger number of responses to improve the accuracy there. Then we're moving on to starting to think about your first assignment by identifying the issues that are affecting us on a global scale. So for your first assignment, you do need to choose one global or local issue to report on. And the UN and the World Economic Forum do outline some of the key issues that we're facing as a global community. And I encourage you to choose one early so you can get started on your assignment. And this Padlet is designed to enable you to start thinking about your issue more critically. So firstly, you're describing the what the issue is. The second one is the so what, why is it an issue? Then we want you to talk about the now what in two parts. Firstly, part one, what is a solution to the problem and how can science be applied as part of that solution? And the second part is, what does that mean for practice? How could this issue be used to help engage your students in science? There's a lot of talk about making science real world, real life. What does that mean by using your issue? Then a really important contribution that I'd like you to make to our discussion board is to think about First Nations peoples and how their their particular issues are addressed by the UN or the World Economic Forum. So make your contribution there. There is an opportunity for another discussion board post here where we get you to think about scientists and their challenges. Obviously, you're teaching year 7 to 10, which is when students are starting to think about what they might do when they leave school. And it's important to be really transparent about what it is like being a scientist. Some of you may have been scientists yourselves, or you may invite scientists to come into your classroom to speak to your students. This video is really interesting. It gives a bit of a different position about what it actually means to be a scientist. Then you can make a discussion board post on that, so thinking critically about what that means. Then the final discussion board post is a module reflection. So using your critical thinking skills that we've talked about in the orientation module, write a response about why science education is important. And there's a little bit of a blurb here about how you can discuss that. Then we've got a checklist, so you can just tick off that you've done everything that you needed to in this module. Remembering your 20 hours, so you've dedicated to 20 hours, you've got all these activities done. We've got some references for you there as well. And make sure you go along to your tutorial and your workshop. Have a great week, everyone. I hope this has been useful.